Channing Wason here with V3 Fights. I'm chilling at the Sports Lounge. I've got Mandy Polk sitting with us. Mandy, how you doing?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for asking.
You look great. Are you in shape? How close are you to weight?
Thanks. I hope close.
She's close. Mandy's got a big fight for V3 Fights this Saturday, September 22nd at Minglewood Hall.
My body likes to hold on to muscle is my problem. So I basically have to really dehydrate myself. So I'm still hanging around 132 right now. But that's to be expected, and that's actually closer than I've been for the other fights.
Great. So she's going to make weight. She's fighting at flyweight. She's fighting the women's division, 125. Mandy was on our last card. That didn't come through. Mandy's 1-1. How do you feel about actually getting your V3 debut this Saturday?
I'm really excited. I've always enjoyed going to the V3 fights and felt like there was a lot of prestige involved with fighting for V3. The fact that I was picked to be the first female V3 fight was a huge honor, and that didn't pan out. And the fact that I'm given a second chance to come back and still fight for V3 is like even more humbling. I'm really, really, really thrilled.
Awesome. Well, we're thrilled at V3 to have you.
It's been the most exciting week of my life, to tell you the truth.
Awesome.
And I've competed in a lot of events in my life.
Awesome. Speaking of that, speaking of stepping on the V3 cage and you calling it prestige, you're only 1-1. You've only had 2 fights. Your opponent's had, I believe, 7 fights in a cage. Do you believe her cage experience will overshadow you only had 2 fights, or do you believe you fighting at the big stage, you fighting at the big shows? You've been in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You wrestle. Do you think
when I did fitness competitions, my first competition was supposed to be a janky local show that was canceled. So the only other event that was around the same time was a huge regional show, which was also a national qualifier. Turns out I won it. And then I went to nationals, and I placed very high in that, which was my second show. I should have had like 4 or 5 warm-up shows compared to the other competitors. So I rise to the occasion.
So you're comfortable with fighting in front of a large crowd?
I'm not saying I'm comfortable fighting in front of a large crowd. I'm just saying because I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet. It's impossible for me to answer, but I'm saying in past situations, in past sporting events, on a main stage where there's a lot of exposure, I mean, magazines were everywhere, I rose to the occasion. And I don't see why this would be any different.
Now, you rose to the occasion. Now, your opponent has 7 fights, but she's never fought on the V3, on the big stage. Do you think that'll, cause a problem for her?
I think if
lights, camera, action.
I think if she's had 7 fights, this is just like another day for her. I think she'll be fine. I think it's going to be more. It's going to come down to more if it affects me versus if it affects her. I think she's going to be comfortable.
Okay, well, she's comfortable on the big stage. You only had 2 fights. You did a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments.
My last fight was. I'm sorry to cut you off, but my last fight was in Viking Hall in Bristol.
You knocked the girl out.
That's huge.
3rd round, right?
Yes.
You knocked her out.
Yes.
Brianna's had a couple knockouts, or one that I've heard of. Do you think that since you've had exposure, you only had 2 fights to her 7, but do you still feel comfortable anywhere the fight goes?
Yes, because of wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you come on this fight and you become victorious, you'll be the 2nd winner ever to win on the V3 cage. Amber Lynn was the first. What's next for you as far as female fighting? Are you just taking it day by day, or do you have somebody you want?
Yeah, just taking it one fight at a time. I know the Amber Lynn fight will probably happen at some point, and that's really cool. And if it's not meant to be, then maybe we'll end up training together or something. I'm just going to let, the promoters and my management work with that, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, speaking of your promoters and managers, the word on the street is, everyone knows you train with a lot of wrestlers. You got Rod Galvin, you're in a high school wrestling team. You train with top pro fighters that are wrestlers. They're saying that you're taking a shot at the 2016 women's wrestling team? Something like that?
I would really, really like to. It's a big goal of mine. I know it's not going to happen tomorrow. That's why you said 2016. And I am working towards that. I go to wrestling practice and I wrestle like a wrestler. And that's something that I would like to do.
That'd be awesome to see you go. Good luck with that.
Women's at least compete nationally,
Hey, you just want to compete, right?
Yeah.
MMA is a huge sport taking over the entire world right now. MMA's women fighting MMA, women competing in MMA is catching up, but it's not to the same level as the guys is.
Right.
As far as the Mid-South area goes, as far as V3, all the other promotions, how do you feel it's over the last couple of years? Is it going in a positive way?
Absolutely. I was told by a lot of the guys in V3, including Mike King, Mark Strouser, when they first knew me and knew I was training and knew I was fighting, they said, "Mandy, we just love you and we would love to have some female fights, but we just there's not the talent to support that right now," which was the same thing that Dana White said. Now, You've got Ronda Rousey. Dana White's a Ronda Rousey fan, hoping that more women will rise to the occasion. And what I'm feeling and seeing happening is more girls going into the gyms. You got to go into the gyms and act like you belong there. You have a right to be there, and they're getting the good training, and there's the higher quality fights. And I hope to be a part of that. As long as the fights are higher quality, then the fans will want to see them.
Yeah, and it seems to be heading in that direction.
But the girls can't sit here and say, "Oh, people don't want to see our fights." If you have shitty fights,
yeah,
you can't have that either.
Exactly.
So
there's a sports end and a business end.
So I hope Brianna brings it. I want both of us to be part of something cool together.
Yeah, be an epic second female fight ever.
Yeah,
well, Brianna, she wants you to bring it. We know, Mandy, you will.
in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's put on a show. I'm not trying to kill you or embarrass you in front of your family.
Well, we're ready to have you. We're excited to finally have Mandy Polk on the V3 cage. Everyone come out Saturday night and see the second ever female mixed martial arts match. Appreciate your time, Mandy.
Thanks. Thank you, Chan.
Thank you.
Thanks.